Hi, welcome to my snake beanie video pattern. What you need two balls of online Cora in main color, here gray, and one ball in a contrast color. You also can use rests of yarn for the contrast color. This beanie is crochet in Technic Bosnian crochet or slip stitch crochet. We only use slip stitches in back loops, and the beanie is crochet in 6 segments, how you can see. I show you the first 2 segments in details, and the rest of the beanie I explain in the pattern. Here you can see the top and 6 ribs of contrast color. Now we can start. And I forgot, you need a 6mm European size crochet hook. Now we start in main color and start with a chain of 34 stitches. And one chain plus one chain for turns, so complete 35 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now here I have my 35 chain stitches. And now you look. I use for the first reverse row the bottom ridge loop of your chain stitches. When you are look on the reverse side of your chain stitches, here you can see the bottom ridge loop or bump loop. So now we start in second bump loop from your needle, pull it through, take yarn and pull through, and the next bottom ridge loop, take yarn, pull through. So you will have at the end of this row 34 slip stitches. 33, and here my 34th slip stitch, my last slip stitch. And now chain 1 for turn. This you will make every row. And now we start with our short rows. We have here 34 stitches. The next row will have only 32 slip stitches. And now here you can see this is my first stitch, and at the end we made always 2 last stitches. Here is my turning chain, and here my first stitch here, and we use only the back loops. Take yarn and pull through. Put needle into the next stitch, back loop only. Here. Take yarn, pull through. Here I have my last stitch, my 32nd stitch. You see here are 2 stitches open, 1 chain and turn, and now we crochet the whole row back and slip stitch back loop only. That are 32 stitches. Here I am on end of my row. Here you can see the last stitch is a little bit tricky. This loop here is the loop of your turning chain, and this is your last stitch, so don't miss it. Count your stitches every row. And here I put my needle in, take yarn and pull through. Chain 1 and turn. Now follows the next short row with 30 stitches. So you crochet 30 slip stitches back loop only. Here is your first stitch. 1, 2. Here I am again on end of my row. Let 2 stitches open. Here we see the first 2 ribs. Chain 1, turn, and now crochet 30 slip stitches back loop only back to the end of row. My last stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now we have 3 ribs, 6 rows, and now you crochet 3 more short rows. So in the next row you crochet 28 slip stitches and back, then 26 and back, and then 24 and back. So you will have 6 ribs on the end. So I finished my 6th rib, my 12th row. You can count 6 ribs on the right end here. Now we will change the color. The 7th rib, or let me count, 13th row is in our contrast color. To change the color, we take both strands of yarn, main and contrast color, and work these 2 strands together only for your turning chain. Both strands and pull through. Turn your piece, and now we only crochet with our contrast color, only my green strand. And now you crochet slip stitch back loop only. Here you can a little bit pull the yarn to the end of your last rib. So 24 stitches. Now here I am on end 23, and here is my last 24th stitch from this rib. Here you can see. Now we will make this row longer for all stitches and crochet here below in the next rib. To make here a little bit tighter, we take this loop from your turning chain, insert hook, insert hook in the loop of your turning chain, and insert hook in your first open stitch of your previous rib. This is the previous rib, yes. Take yarn and pull through. Now insert hook into the last stitch of your previous rib and make your slip stitch. Here again, take the loop of your turning chain and the first open stitch rib below, the last stitch, and again. This you repeat till you have 34 stitches. And here the last time, here are my loop of turning chain and first open stitch and the last open stitch. And here in this first segment, only here in the first segment from this longer row, we make 3 more stitches. For the first stitch, I insert the hook in the first chain here in the loop from the turning chain, make 1 stitch, a second, and 1 more for turning. So in this row we will have a total of 37 stitches, 36 plus 1 chain for turning. And now crochet slip stitches back loop only till end of row. This will be 36 slip stitches. So here I am on the end of row, and here we had made the 1 chain for turning both colors. Now I only insert the hook in my contrast yarn, only in the green yarn for my last stitch. Now we change again our color, and again we take both strands of yarn, make 1 chain, and crochet the second segment with our main color. This was 1 complete segment. Here I start the second segment. We crocheted this like the segment before. This means you crochet again short rows. You crochet 34 stitches and back, then 32, then 30, 28, 26 and 24. And then will come end of second segment with contrast yarn, and we will see us there again. Note that you must here, when you come back from the first row, pick up only the gray yarn. Here I will show you the first end of first rib and second segment. Here is only insert the hook in the gray yarn. We made this turning chain with both strands, so you will here take only the gray. Chain 1 and turn. So you see, this was my first short rib and the second segment. And I explained before, now we crochet again short rows till you end with this contrast rib in second segment. Here I am on the end of my 6th short rib in second segment, 24 stitches and back. Now I again change the color with both strands. I cut the yarn off from the first contrast rib and sew it. Now chain 1 and work only with the green one for my longer rib, for my last rib in second segment. And now here's the last stitch of my rib, pick up the stitches from the ribs before, and don't forget to pick up the chain, the loop from the turning chain. Here I show you again. Here's the last stitch of my previous rib. Insert the hook in the loop from turning chain and the first open stitch below. Here is the second one. Again, pick up the loop and first open stitch, and so on till you till you come to the first rib in contrast color here in green. And I had explained that only the first rib in contrast yarn you crochet 2 chain stitches more. Here or not, because you have, when you are pick up the last 2 stitches in the green rib, in the first green rib here, you will have 36 stitches again. Here you see the loop from the turning chain, and here are my 2 last stitches, number 35 and 36. Again, here is the turning chain, and here is my last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. This was the end of second segment. You only must crochet back to the end, 36 stitches, and then you repeat the second segment 4 more times. Then you will have a total of 6 segments. Here I am on the end of my 6th segment. Last stitch, and no chain for turning. I show you the whole piece. You see, these are the 6 segments. We have 6 ribs with green yarn, with contrast yarn. And on the top, this is normal. This should be so. And I have marked my turning chains on top from the contrast ribs. That will be easier to sew the top of head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To finish your beanie, fold beanie wrong side out. Here on right side you have your last loop. Remove hook and insert hook through both loops of first stitch of original chain of your start chain, of your first chain. Pull your contrast color loop through and now here again I show you, here are my both loops of start chain, and pull my green color loop through. Now you can cut the green yarn, you don't need it anymore. And make 1 chain with main color. Now pull tight and insert your hook again through both loops of your first chain, and only in the back loop from the next stitch from the other side, and pull the yarn through all loops. Next stitch, both loops, and from the other side only the back loop. Take yarn and pull through. Both loops, only back loop, take yarn and pull through. And we will see us again at this point here when you arrive on your last stitch in main color from the side. And here you can see this is my last stitch here before loop of turning chain, both loops. Here, back loop only from other side, take yarn, pull through. And now for the last stitches, I insert hook again through the turning loop from gray and only back loop here from my open stitch in green for the next stitch. I show you again. Here is my loop from turning. Here my first open stitch from previous rib. And here insert hook only in the back loop. Not in both loops, only back loop, and in the back loop from the other side. Take yarn and pull through. And the last stitch, only pick up the back loop from your starting chain stitches from the first contrast rib and the back loop from your other rib. This is the last stitch. Last stitch, cut tail. And sew the 6 turning loops of your contrast color ribs. I had marked it here. And here I show you top of beanie. Take a needle. And only pick up all 6 loops to close top. Here I can remove the marker and weave all in ends. So here you see the finished beanie. Here I have weave-in ends also, and we have 6 stripes in contrast color, and top of beanie I like very much. And I have a longer break and don't speak English, so sorry for mistakes. You see the German version is a little bit longer than the English version. Then when you're missing something, please look in the German version. There are more details shown. I wish you a lot of fun and I hope we see us again. Bye!